G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're on Cliffside, one of the brand new maps that's in, well not brand new, but it's in the rotation for the ranked season currently and it's brand new to this season. So welcome back Cliffside, a pleasure to have your company. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some stars in the game today. Spawning in on the west side of the map in the colour teal, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, representing Team Liquid, it's Demu. And on the east side of the map, in the colour purple, playing as the Byzantines. We're going to be calling him Shaq today, but the true name that he's playing with is Al-Shaqaqi. Something along the lines there. My Arabic is not the best, I'll be honest with you, but I think that's roughly where it is. There's a good kh in there, as we were mentioning before. But we're going to call him Big Shaq today, ladies and gentlemen. Big Shaq, he's in the house. How you guys doing? Welcome back to another casted game. We're at the minute mark, and I think I might remind you, if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, if you want to see more of it, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, because it really helps out the traction of the videos. And let's talk a little bit about today's matchup. What do we expect to see? What do we hope to see? What do we plan to see? I would hope that we see some aggression, because this is Cliffside, and Cliffside is notorious for its aggression. You see, the trouble with Cliffside is it looks good, right? On the surface, you're like, okay, well, I can wall off here, and I can wall off here, and then I can wall this off. And then the problem is that then you have to wall this off, and you have to wall this off, and then you have to wall here and there. To wall yourself in, you need to use a lot of wood, a lot more than you would on a map like Dry Arabia. And because of that, it's quite common that we do see very aggressive games coming out, just simply because if you fall behind on the military count, your enemy will punish you. And that's one of the things that we often see on maps like this, is where players go for an Age 3 timing, they will get punished. So we'll have to wait and see as to whether or not that happens. The key distinction here is just how close these players actually feel to each other. They're probably not that much further than what they would be on a Dry Arabia spawn. Maybe they'd be a little bit, you know, maybe the TC would be over here, you know, it's a very slight difference. So I suspect that we're probably going to see a bit of aggression out for them today, and our age up coming through from Big Shaq. It's going to be the Grand Winery. On the other side, Demi, probably going to be going military wing here. It's military wing, no real surprise. The proximity between these two, just, it makes sense, right? Like, it doesn't even matter that there's a front gold spawn or a back gold spawn. All that matters is, you're close to me, I want to get units out, I'm going to do it. So we don't see any forward House of Wisdom. We have seen one of those before, so we're not going to see that today. The other thing to note is that sacred sites on this map are very difficult to secure. Now, you can take them, and you can try and wall them off, but you got to remember that you are going to be spreading yourself very thin. It is not like other maps. It is very difficult, because it's almost like your enemy has got so many different ways to cut into the sacred site. Like, how would you wall this off? As an example, if you're playing as Big Shaq right now, you're going to wall off the front like this, maybe wall off the side. Now you got to wall down here with a stone wall, and then you've also got to like wall this off, and then you put a keep right here, and you know, it's very far away, and the enemy can just very easily throw a siege workshop, couple stables down, and we're through. And at the same token, you've got to do that for the north. Sacred site victories are really not on the cards on this map unless you've got a really significant advantage. On top of it, when it comes to Cliffside, one of the key distinctions as well from normal maps is that there's no big golds. There's lots of little golds, but no big ones, which means that defensive play, especially keeps, are a lot less impactful. It means that your civilizations, like the French, like the English, that just love to get that big defensive landmark on a heavy gold, are going to have a bit more trouble doing it on this map. Now, don't get me wrong, Red Palace right here would be absolutely amazing. Doesn't necessarily mean that, well, we're not going to be seeing it today. Unfortunately, neither of these civs really having access to anything super duper aggressive. But the age ups are starting to come through. Of course, the Byzantines now going to be connecting the system. Keep in mind, both of these players are world class. So Big Shaq currently sitting at about 2k rating. Demu sitting at about 2.3k rating. If you had to give an advantage, you'd probably say Demu likely to win at about 85%, 15% to Big Shaq. Somewhere in that region. So you'd say Demu's probably a favorite to win the game. Let's check in over on that east side, though. Let's see exactly how Big Shaq is doing. The scout going to be spotting out exactly what's happening. He's sending out his own scout now as well. Sees the enemy on the way through. Does he just look to open with archers here? I would suspect that's probably going to be the case. He's going to go into an outpost instead. Bit of a weird spot on the outpost. If it was here, I would understand. But this spot right here is quite interesting. It looks like we've got a bit of defensive play to start us off with. Berries are going to be particularly important here for the Byzantines. It's going to allow him to build up this olive oil. We can see that coming through. through, and the olive oil is going to be instrumental in securing an early military advantage because, as we can see, the barracks got cancelled. Instead, it's going to be a mercenary house. And what does he go into? Now, you could go into javelins here. There's definitely an argument for it. I'd be more tempted to do longbows, though. I feel like longbows just make a little bit more sense. I'm curious to see what direction there's no way he goes into Keshiks, right? There's no way he goes into Keshiks. He goes into javelin throwers. Okay. So, you know, it's a 1-2. Could be either one. Have a look at this. Vils looking to now put down the outpost on the stone. He wants to inch it forward. Doesn't look like Big Shack's going to go for any sort of response to it at the moment. Horseman going to be chasing away the scout for now. First of the javelin throwers coming through, and we got the double unique combo coming in the javelin throwers together with those, I was going to say Donzos. It's not. It's the Lamentinai that'll be coming through. We're right on board with Demu, though, as he is on the offense here as the Abbasid, definitely trying to rush down his enemy and get an early victory here. All of the units jump inside and immediately start working down the villagers. First one going to be going down. Lives. It lives. It lives to tell the tale. All of the units dropped out at the wrong time. That's going to be... No, that's not going to be. There's no first villager that gets taken out. Oh, he's got the Akratoy defenses. That's why he's doing quite a bit of work there. But you can see that the range here is just enough for him to gather up the resources that he needs. He's sitting at 248, but you wait until these arrow slits come through. Remember, that's going to extend out the range and take you from 6 range up to 7 range. And that is going to be all the difference, and you can see that Big Shack knows that and naturally moves away. Now, this is going to be very annoying from the perspective of Big Shack because you'll see immediately it's now able to attack the cistern. And if we ride on board with Big Shack, you'll see that he's constantly under attack from this. So Javelin Thrower is now going to be coming out together with a couple of the Lamentinai, beginning to move out. And is he going for what I think he's doing? Oh, this is so smart. He's going for a counterattack. So instead of dealing with the problem at home, you just say, okay, we'll just evacuate the base, and we'll just go attack your base instead. And this is something that's so difficult to do. And even as a Conqueror 3 player myself, something I rarely do is this right here, a counterattack. And if you look from on Demu's perspective, he was thinking about maybe going for a second TC. He's set himself up, but now he's lost the stone. He's got the extra stone in the bank. He could look to try and get the fortification, which he will do. Still got 140 over the top, though, but no other outposts mean that there's no other goals. And now the Javelin Thrower together with the Lamentinai are going to be punishing Demu early on in this game. How does he go about dealing with this? Because the majority of units are back here, and if he does look to vacate this position, he could probably do it now that he's got the fortification through. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see these units evacuate out of this outpost and look to try and help back out home. But for the moment, it's just going to be double range that he's going to be opening up with. We'll check in and see how things are going. Blacksmith going to be coming down as well. They are both gearing up for a long feudal fight. We are witnessing it right now. Horseman just doing a little bit of a patrol. He's going to come back. Still 5 units inside the outpost. We can't actually see what they are. We've got no clue. I'd suspect probably like horsemen and a couple of archers. I think he pretty much had everything. And there we go. He does the right thing. He brings them back. So it was just the first 5 units that he had. So the ones from the military wing together with a horseman. And now going to be out on the aggressive here, looking to try and deal with this problem at home. All right, well, let's check in with Demu, see how he's doing as units are on the way back through. 8 minutes and 22 seconds. I can hear my son screaming upstairs, going absolutely troppo. We've got visitors at the moment down here. Nana and Poppy are visiting him. For anybody who's not from Australia or doesn't know what I'm talking about, that's Grandma and Grandpa. I'm trying to think of what the Italians call it. I was going to give you like an Italian reference, but I'm not Italian. I'm not Italian, so I don't know. Is it like nonna? Nonna and like nonni or something like that? I know there's going to be like 16 angry Italians in the comments, and they're all doing the finger emoji. Sorry, guys. All right, Lamentinai looking good here. He's going to make them all nice and slow. They got that shield wall ability up, doing plenty of damage still, though, able to skewer quite a few. Takes out the first one. Second one comes in, cops a bit of damage, and Demu doing a lovely job of just balancing very carefully. Look at the control coming out, though. Beautiful control from Big Shack here. Lamentinai a little bit too far out. Archers dealing with them, and you can see the consequence of this early aggression on the berries has meant that the Javelin Thrower numbers are low. And why is that important? That's important because we don't have enough to one-shot the archers, and when we don't have enough to one-shot the archers, we've got a difficult time defending. And that's exactly what Demu does with great success here. Look at the difference between these two. 18 versus 5 right now. Demu with a significant advantage, a significant lead after these first fights. Horseman now going to be coming out as well for the Byzantines. One of the best looking horsemen in the game. Wait till it gets Imperial Age. And there's one good looking horseman. Or horsewoman. You know, Anyway, let's let's keep going. Oh gosh, we'll check in with Demu. We'll see how he's doing. Military numbers starting to build up. Still on tier 1 of his House of Wisdom. Well, I'm looking. I'm trying to find. Let's go here and then go here. No, let's go here and then go. I'll be honest. I don't know where to find it on this UI. Here. There. There we go. We got it. We got it eventually. Don't worry. I read the comments. I saw him. Thank you, guys. He's still going trop upstairs. I can hear him. He's screaming like crazy. I wonder what's happened. I'm always worried about that boy. He's a bit of a crazy kid. Battering ram making its way in. Demu looking to cause some harm. Keep in mind if he attacks keep in mind if he attacks the landmark right now, that it's going to be idling out all of these farms. So this is going to create a huge problem here for Big Shack. He's going to need to reinvent the farm economy. He's got positions over towards this side, but keep in mind the Grand Winery only provides that bonus in that area around it. So you want to try and keep your farm centralized, at least early on, around the Grand Winery. So now, more and more units continue to rally in. 23 against 17, 24 against 17. Numbers still looking good. More houses going to be rushed down here. And now Big Shack on the defense. We're right on board with Demu. As he continues holding it down, I'd love to see another battering ram before you go underneath that town center. You can't really do it with just the one battering ram. It's too easy to work it down. Even the town center single-handedly can work it down because you can just bring a couple of vills out here, defend the vills with a couple of javelin throwers, and you can repair it infinitely pretty much. So it's difficult to do. You're going to need more than that if you want to try and take this out, which I 100% support. Have a look at the macro though. Things are starting to get a bit out of whack here. We could see some more spears, or we could see some more horsemen, but archers are definitely a little bit expensive at the moment. Is he moving vills? What's happening? Oh, he's going for a second TC. Oh, you're so cheeky, Demu. You're so cheeky, Demu. Horseman now moving up forward. This could be bad for him. He's invested a lot of resources all of a sudden into this town center, and he's still holding on the front despite the military advantage he once had. It looks like things are starting to sour for him. Continuing to retreat back towards the center of the map. Demu now looks like he could actually lose out on what was once a military advantage and may now turn into a significant problem for him. Keep in mind, the Grand Winery is the landmark of choice. So these horsemen that we see are not going to be buffed up. They do not need to be buffed up. Have a look at the damage he's doing. Just stabbity, stabbity, stab, stab, stab. They remind me of Lancers from Age of Empires 3, the way that they do their stabbing. But able to clean it up completely. Have a look at that swing. Have a look at that swing. That is the consequence right now of pushing when you're going for that second TC, because all of those resources that you put into the second TC, it took villager seconds to gather those resources, and your enemy the whole time was using those villager seconds to make units, or rather to gather resources that they were turning into units. That's the key difference between these two, and that tiny little difference has led to Demu losing his entire army. Let's check in with him now on the defense to see how he looks to try and hold on in this game. It's been swing into swing. The question's going to be about whether he's able to hold on. Vill's now caught out of position, but the army's here to protect. Fortunately for Demu, well, unfortunately for Demu, it looks like we might have a little bit of a discovery. Oh, fortunately. And never mind. We got the fortune right in the end. Double ram coming down, by the way, over for Big Shack. But the fortunate thing is that the berries haven't been discovered. He knows that they're around, though. He knows the berries are around here somewhere. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's spotted them out. He's found them eventually. And now, finally, the horseman going to get caught out. He wants to do his best to lose, or to avoid losing these, rather. And he spots it. He sees it. He says, I knew it. I knew you were up to some sneaky shenanigans. He gets the surround. Demu wasn't paying attention. Not sure what happened there. But Vill's just going to start to get mauled. The Vill count has started dropping. He's taken out 5. Make it 6. He does it. He gets the 6th, 7th, and 8th stay alive in the back of the base. Meanwhile, towards the front, have a look at this. We are slowly burning down the house. The Kairusafonts are doing work. He's had to bring back all of his military to deal with the horsemen, but have a look at this. It's only archers. It's only archers. He's just able to eat them alive if he wants to. A single spearman comes out. That could be the one defender he needed. Indeed, it was. Meanwhile, towards the front, the Byzantines have moved on to the next building. It's going to be the landmark second TC. Second to none right now, because these Kairusafonts are going to start burning very, very quickly. Let's check back in with the base of Big Shack and see how things are looking to attack as he stacks the deck. With all of the military right now, he is in a wonderful position here. The second town center against the single town center. Is Demu going to be able to hold on? Now, I've seen games, I'm going to caveat this right now. I have seen games between equally matched pros where the Abbasid player opened with a second town center straight out of the gates. and was still able to defend the aggression that the enemy was putting down, even though they were a 1 TC all in, and they were equally matched pros. And I remember just thinking to myself, how is that fair? How is that possible? You got rock, paper, scissors, and then you've got the Abbasid, which is just dynamite. And, well, I mean, obviously balance has changed. Things have changed. These two players are not evenly matched. Demu's quite a bit ahead when it comes to skill rating between these two players. How is he going to look to defend this? Because the town center is burning down. He needs to bring Vils to the back to get repairs in. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing. Keep in mind, he's already lost 9 Vils through this game. Vils are going to dive out the back. There they are. 4 of them now starting to repair things. Infantry numbers looking good for him. He's only got a single cab unit in the back. Plenty of fire out here. Just keep in mind that your own units don't actually have to worry about the fire, but now you're going to have to worry about those horsemen. Oh, with spearmen inside! He pops the spears! That's how he's going to defend! The spearmen holding on for dear life! Town center will go down, but it could be the difference in keeping him alive. Trying his best to survive. Demu, will he thrive? That is the question we look to answer in this casted game. 15 minutes through, and things are going from bad to worse. He's down the villager count, 6 down at the moment. He's got quite a few eco upgrades, but definitely not enough to match his enemy at this stage. He cleans up the military, and the swing starts swinging. Don't get any ideas. Keep those keys out of the bowls, ladies and gentlemen. And now the archers, together with the spears, have cleaned it up. And once again, we are seeing ourselves just a little bit of a swing. It is happening. This is wild. What a great game that we are witnessing here. Action-packed. And, you know, hats off to the devs for this one, because they are the reason this game is happening right now. I mean, without you guys, we wouldn't have Age of Empires 4, but also without you guys, we wouldn't have Cliffside or Cliffside in the ranked rotation. So thank you. Could you fix the caster UI? I'm going to do that every single time I mention the devs, because that's when their ears perk up. I know Winston's just sitting there like, oh yeah, Drongo's saying some nice things. And then I say that. And then he links the timestamp and sends it to the development team. And the development team write an internal memo about how... they write an internal memo about how... what is it? Sentiment for caster UI changes is at an all-time high. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Winston? Isn't that right? Nobody link it to Winston. He'll have to find it himself. All right, the spears have managed to finally work down the Kairusophons back towards the base of Demu. He's down a town center, but he is up 1 life. We'll give him that. He's a bit of a cat at the moment. It's slowly expending those 9 lives that he's got. I tell you what, those spears in the TC were definitely quite the surprise. And I mean, that's just the consequence of the lack of UI. You know, we talked about it earlier. We had no idea what they were. We couldn't see in the outpost what they were. We couldn't see in the town center what they were. We were surprised just as much as Big Shaq was surprised. He couldn't believe it wasn't butter. Turns out that it was a lot sharper than butter. It was actually a knife, and you shouldn't have put it in the microwave. The sparks were flying. That is for sure. Spears now, together with the archers on the defense. A distinct lack of javelin throwers. Only the 3 out for the moment. He's starting to build up more, though. And that's going to be a big problem for him. So far in this game, Big Shaq has had a big problem, and that's the lack of big javelins. But now he's starting that build up, and that's where it starts to get scary, because it means Demu has no option but to go Castle H here. He needs to go Castle. He can't stay alive in this game unless he goes Castle, because if the javelin thrower number builds, then the trouble that you're going to have is there's no way to really deal with it. Now, granted, if you go Castle, there's also a win. My mouse did the thing. My mouse did the thing. Did you guys see it? My mouse did the thing. I tried to move my camera up like that, and it was like, whatever. Anyway. Anyway, look, I don't think I've given you the Drongo drink of the day. Vils are going to get caught out. Demu not paying attention. Demu not paying attention. More Vils going to be going down. He's lost 21 already this game. But mate, I tell you what, it is a bit of a struggle here. Demu down 15 Vils now. Drongo drink of the day. It's room temperature, lukewarm water. Lukewarm, that's probably not the right term. That's the term that I use, like, putting my kids in the bath. Lukewarm. Yep, that's the one that we want to go for. This is not lukewarm water. This is... That's room temperature water. Oh, it's still good. It's still good. It's just a little bit warm. Archers trading off on the back line. Javelin thrower's going to be the key here. Look at the javelin throwers. He's got them focused on each of the archers. Meanwhile, the archers of his own are working down all the spears at the front. He's just got the combo absolutely sorted. And this is the trouble playing against the Byzantines in the feudal age for these extended fights, especially when you've lost this many Vils. It is an uphill battle from here for Demu. How does he possibly find a way out of this? That is the question on my mind right now. He's got more reinforcements that are rallying through. We can see them. The horseman's going to try and bring a little bit of bait backwards. Has he picked up his upgrades? He's got most of them. He's got the relevant ones. Third one now going to be coming through as well for a little bit of melee armor. That'll help him out against the Lametanai, the horseman as well. But I tell you what, he's in dire straits right now. Demu's going to need an absolute miracle to pull this one out. He's going to need to hide 15 spears in the TC and just let him pop right as the time is important. Phew, I tell you what, it's a good game. It's a good game that we're watching right now. Big Shaq putting on a performance. Vill's going down once again. Look at him focus down those Vills. He knows how much Demu is hurting. He's taking out 23, making 24. Demu's not even moving the Vills. Horsemen fall back, but it's not going to matter. Look at the infantry number. Look at the infantry number 20 minutes into this game. We'll switch it over to income per minute, get a bit of more of an idea on where these two stand. Demu looks like he could be gearing up for a castle age. I don't know if he can really do it right now with these numbers, but I tell you what, if there's a way through, if there's a way forward, the only way I see it right now, Lancers. It's got to be Lancers. Castle age into double, triple stable, and just hope that 6 Lancers is going to be enough to hold you. Because right now, there's not a lot of Lamentinai on the field. We've seen that. There's a lot of archers. There's a lot of javelin throwers. There's a lot of wolves out here. Take him out. Big Shaq. Get him. Yeah, well done. Well done, Big Shaq. Big Shaq. Big Shaq. So, for the moment, back here, you can see just how much trouble Demu's having with this map. And look, I'm sure it's not Demu specific. This is pretty much everybody. But generally on this map, you are not safe from any direction. Anywhere that you can't see, you're not safe. It is such a scary map to play on. Such a difficult map to play on. And we can see just how far he's gone. He's exhausted this hunt completely. A single deer carcass remains with 180 food on it, looking to deny away the berries from his opponent. Of course, he's already got the outpost up in this area, so he can have a little bit of vision. Sees the Hierosophont coming down on the other side of the map. Horseman as well up towards this top side, and Demu, he could be close to clicking right now. This isn't a bad little time for him to do it, but this is the most dangerous time, especially because his enemy is pushing. It is such a tense time for him. The key here is for him to research textiles. If there's one way that he wins this game, it's with textiles. And that's because he's going to be able to use the Vills inside the town center, try and burst down those Hierosophonts, try and make sure that he is able to at least survive until those first couple of Lancers come out, and that's when you need to fight. You cannot fight before those Lancers are out. I don't think there's any way in any possible world where he manages to get upgrades off. So I don't even think you'd consider going for upgrades here. You can see the Golden Age has been deactivated. Trying to hold on right now. He's still looking for it. I know he's feeling it. I know he's going. Go on, damn it, do it. Click that button. It's going to be tough, though. There could be a little bit of a run right now as well, because if your enemy's also thinking about sieging things down, there's big trouble. He's losing a lot of this important infrastructure. Does fall back for the moment. Could be the time that Demu needs right now. Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's got to be clicking right now. So what route are you going? I mean, you probably got to go culture, right? There's no other way for it. You'd have to go culture. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do anything else. But, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to do anything right now. I don't know. I don't know what way he's going to go. We'll have to wait and see. Horseman, he's doing a good job distracting. I'm believing right now. I'm starting to believe. The score. Oh, Lord, I've just seen the score. Military number. I mean, it's still kind of close, though. Because the key thing to remember, once he hits military, or once he hits castle age, military wing comes through compos. He's going to go culture wing. And, oh, look, you know, this is the hard part. He's telegraphing the age up. You'll be able to see that the age up's about to come through. But he is sieging it down, so maybe he won't actually spot it. There it is. He'll see the age up now. And now he knows he needs to commit. Big Shaq needs to fight right now. Demu needs to avoid fighting. You can see the horsemen behind are trying their best to delay this, doing a wonderful job. You need to come through, continue pulling this army back, try and force this. You do not want this fight. You do not want this fight right now. You need to continue kiting away. Horsemen now going to look to try and make a connection. Age up coming through another 70 seconds. Vill's on the repair. Keep in mind it doesn't take any wood to repair the House of Wisdom. It is absolutely free. They're going to dive inside the TC. He pops him out the back. The king of the micro right now. You're witnessing it. Liquid Demu trying his best to hold on. Vill's starting to get picked off, and there is absolutely no way this is going to go his way. This unfortunate timing attack coming through from Big Shaq right now is incredibly timed. He sensed it. He knew there was trouble in the water. He said, I need to go right now, and he identified that window. 24 minutes into this game, and Demu's number continues to fall. Big Shaq slowly cleaning up the remnants of this army, down to 17 military population right now. Demu with only an age up to do. I mean, at this point, the only way you can possibly come back is Lancers, but you're down 44 Vills. You're down 44 Vills. Your enemies double your Vill count. They're only on a single TC, but it doesn't matter. You've just lost way too many. And that's just Cliffside, baby. That's just how these things go. Javelin's working it down. Almost all of the military has been taken out, and at this point I can only imagine they're exchanging pleasantries before the G's get typed in. 2 seconds to go, 1 second to go, and the age up comes through, but unfortunately it is not enough. The age up will not make a difference here. And now with 98 military units to 4, the Golden Horn Tower finally goes down in the back of the base. 24 minutes into this game. I told you we were in for a feudal fight. I didn't think it was going to be this big, though. These guys mean absolute business. Demu's still trying to survive. Meanwhile, Vil's just getting chased down. He's lost 47, make it 48. No, that wasn't a Vil. That was not an English Vil. That was an archer. They can look similar, though. Golden Horn Tower about to come online for Big Shaq, and surely the moment he sees that age up coming through, he would realize that this is not a mangonelable army. There is no amount of mangonel. I mean, you could probably have like 12 mangonels, and that would probably do it. But there's no amount of mangonel that you can currently field that is going to fix this. He is going Lancers together with Gulams, though. That's the belief. That's the route he's going to go. As soon as the age up comes through, this now means trouble, because now you've got crossbows. Now you've got veterancy coming through. Immediately, veterancy on the archers, on the horsemen, on the Lamentinite, coming straight through. Expect to see that veterancy contract come in as well. He is absolutely farming. There's the crossbows, 5 of them on the way in as well. Another army towards the front, completely surrounding Demu at the moment. The clock is ticking right now, but unfortunately, it ticks for thee. That's an Age of Empires 3 taunt. I don't actually know what that means. I've got no idea. Gulams just getting picked off. Lancers as well. The remnants of the Demu army towards the north. Ladies and gentlemen, the G's are typed. The game is over. Go check them out. The links are in the description. Both of these guys played an incredible game today, but only one of them is victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Big Shaq. He's in the house. Anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this one, and I hope you enjoyed.